This is day 16 of our 21-day financial fast, and today we're dealing with a controversial subject. Michelle Singletary calls it financial fornication. The old folk call it shacking up. Now, this happens to be a pet peeve of mine, and I want you to think through a few things with me. First of all, a lot of people shack up or live together because they say they're trying to save money. I want to challenge the young women. This is why this is a pet peeve of mine, because I have a lot of goddaughters. If a man can't take care of himself, what makes you think he's going to take care of you? Now, I know some people think that when you get married, that it's old fashioned to think that the man should take care of everything, but I think that's the Bible way. The man ought to be able to provide for his family if he calls himself grown and the marrying kind. If he cannot carry his own water, if he's laying up on you, if somehow or another he has moved from his mother's house to your house, and the reason that he says that you all are not married is because you need to save money, well, then he needs to get his financial house in order. The bottom line is that you should not commingle not only your funds, but you shouldn't let your heart get tied into someone who hasn't proven that they're worthy of your trust and that they have earned the type of commitment that you're willing to make. Bottom line is the whole point of the dating process is so you can learn some information. And very often people get their hearts as well as their money tied into a relationship that they have not really tested to see if it's worth a lifetime commitment. And if it's not worth a lifetime commitment, then you definitely should not be commingling your money, let alone letting the person have access to the most intimate parts of your being. The Bible says that we'll know people by their fruits. So you need to be asking questions. I'm talking to the single people, ladies in particular, but you need to be asking questions and you need to be watching how the person that you are romantically interested in handles their money, because what they do when they're single is not necessarily going to change when they get married. So if they're stingy, if they're inconsiderate, if they are foolish as it relates to spending, you ought to take note of that before you move forward romantically. The Bible is very clear that God's plan is for one man and one woman to make a lifelong covenant, and we call that covenant marriage. And if you're not willing to do that, you certainly should not be getting your money tied up into somebody. When I say tied up into somebody, I'm talking about having joint accounts and you're not married, because basically what happens with that is um, you open yourself up to fraud. I'm talking about things like letting someone live with you who has not shown that they can even live with themselves. So take advantage of what the Bible says, and that is this: you'll know them by their fruits. You need to ask questions, you need to pay attention, and whatever you do, don't let your heart or your money get tied into a situation that is not godly, first of all, and then secondly, not in your best interest. I hope all this makes sense, and I think that you understand the dangers of shacking up. God bless you and have a great night.